everybody, and welcome to the Everything Voiceover Podcast. My name is Justin D. Torres. The Everything Voiceover Podcast is brought to you by the Voice Realm, where only professional voice actors are listed. Today, we're going to be talking about LinkedIn. That's spelled LinkedIn. LinkedIn. And I thought long and hard about doing this, whether I should do a podcast about LinkedIn, but, people have this feeling about LinkedIn, like, ugh, LinkedIn, just a bunch of business stuff, reserved for like programmers and entrepreneurs and tech companies. And while yes, this is definitely true, LinkedIn is a font of information for voiceover artists. And it's an indispensable free profile that can get you jobs. Okay? So let me repeat that. It is a font of information for every voiceover artist and an indispensable free profile that can get you jobs. Okay? Now, I'm going to go through this podcast should probably cost people money, but I want people to know how cool LinkedIn is, and it's free. First off, the big thing, LinkedIn is totally free, unless you want their business account thing, and that's like ridiculously expensive. But LinkedIn itself is totally free, and all the stuff you need is exactly on the free account, and it's so easy to get to. It's amazing. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes about what's so cool about LinkedIn. Actually, let's start with the potatoes first, the profile. Your profile is the page of you. It's like every other profile page, but LinkedIn has done some really amazing stuff that actually works so to our favor. First off, there's got the regular stuff. You can put your headshot in there. You can put your schooling, all your information, all the classes you've taken, your agent, all places you've worked, all the necessary information, standard stuff, no big deal. But you can also do these things. Number one, testimonials. Now, these are reviews of your actual work. If you have clients that have given you a review, you can post that till the cows come home. You can post it over and over again, and in essence, what it'll do is if you are consistently connected with your LinkedIn profile, you will remind your clients to say, hey, I'd love to get a testimonial to put onto my LinkedIn page. Is that possible? Just by doing that effort, you're putting more into your job than any of these other voiceover artists are doing, including myself. I don't really ask for reviews, but if I had really hooked into LinkedIn more from the get-go, I might have gotten 100 more testimonials than I have right now. If you are LinkedIn, you can get it with the client. You can also link them in the testimonial so they can go straight to the people who said the good stuff about you. Now, this is not only do you get a sounding board to show off how many people like you and love you and want to work with you, you also get direct links to those people, if they accept your connection or your friendship, which most clients will do. I have rarely messaged or connected with a client whom I've worked with that they have not friended me, which is great because you actually get to see a picture of this human being and makes it a little bit more human. Now, the second thing you can do is the jobs section of the profile. This is a jewel. You can say you worked at each individual company for that job. I mean, we're talking about a dual-fold company. So let's say if you did a job for, let's say, Roseville Hyundai, you can say you worked with Roseville Hyundai because they use your voice for commercials. So why not? And it's probably cool for them to know, oh, that's the guy that's on our commercials. That's great. It's happy for them. And then also you get the production studio you worked with, and you can put in that you did a job with them because as much as there's like a little bit of a blurry line between did I really work for Roseville Hyundai, but you definitely did. You definitely did. They were the checks that was the initial checks being paid. Sure, it was two different, there was a middleman in there, but you are definitely representing Roseville Hyundai, and you're definitely representing the production studio, so why not put in that you worked at both those jobs? And that it will connect you in turn with the company itself and then the production studio itself. So those two connections will be made. So next time, if that Roseville Hyundai comes around and they don't want to work at that production studio anymore, but they do want to use you, they can look at you because they already connected with you on LinkedIn. This is huge. This is amazing because that's really what you want. You want to get those connections. You want to foster them. You want to work with more clients and refer more people and be referred to. It's just a connections frenzy when you think about the jobs section, where you're actually networking with clients. You're giving them another way to get in touch, plus they will see all the testimonials for other things, and they'll see how busy you are, and they'll want to hire you back. Staying front of mind, top of mind is perfect with this LinkedIn profile. Number 3, what's the good thing about that profile page is that you get to put up videos. Now we're talking lots of videos. Like you can put a video up with every job. That is insane, and that's beautiful because there's something very special about linking to the actual job you did. Something very visceral, being like, oh, what did they work to? Oh, that guy worked there, and then rather than have it just be a number or a name or a date, you get an actual video and it's like, oh, that's his voice. It's so cool. My LinkedIn page is huge, but it hasn't even hit the surface of the amount of jobs I've done. I wish that I could have done more with this. And that's the cool thing about this whole video section is that you also make it an effort of, as a voiceover artist, to get the final product from the production studio. That's huge. I mean, most people don't get it. They may email once or they may email twice, but if you are already thinking about that as you are doing the job, that's a perfect way to be a voiceover artist, because you're thinking about things. You're thinking about the end game of getting more work, and that's huge. And you're more than just a voiceover artist at that time. You're a publicity hound. Now, the last thing is regular update posts. Now, just like Facebook, LinkedIn, you can post and share and like other people's posts, and I think that's definitely relevant. You can like a fellow voice actor's post. You can like the production studio posts of other things they've done. A like costs you nothing. A post costs you nothing. A share costs you nothing. And, those update posts is a direct link that you can give to all your followers and connections. Why not talk about the job you just got? Why not brag about the audition you did? Why not show off the old video that just keeps popping up? This kind of thing only helps you in the long run. And now this was just the LinkedIn profile. Now, I admit I'm excited about this, but I'm hoping that I'm getting you guys on board with this, pretty cool social media system. Now would be a good time to say that the Everything Voiceover podcast is brought to you by The Voice Realm, where only professional voice actors are listed. Now that we've got done with the potatoes of the profile, let's really dig deep into the data of LinkedIn. First off, LinkedIn, it ain't perfect. It's not a gold rush of free emails for everybody and free email addresses for clients and production studios. Nothing is free, and absolutely they have a security set up so that you don't have access to their email right off the bat. You may have to do some research online. You might have to do some email looking. You might have to do some, Google searching to try and get the email later. But also, you can just straight up try and connect to the people and just say, hey, I liked your stuff. I saw the video. I'd love to connect with you. I'm a voiceover artist. That's a totally legitimate way to do things. Now, the point is that LinkedIn has a wealth of information to find future clients. You just have to take a look. One thing you can look for is just companies in general. Companies for clients, e-learning companies, audiobook companies, production companies, agents, casting directors, name it. Anything that needs a voice, you can find it. Find some way of getting yourself into that company itself, Try and make yourself useful. You can try and connect with individuals in that company. You can try and find their website later and see if their email address is on there as well. So just from a general aspect, you can find the companies. Find any company you want on LinkedIn. You can also look at, fellow voiceover actors. By looking at what other voiceover actors do, you can do the same thing they're doing if they seem like they're being very, successful. There's also, you can see with who they're working with, what agents they're working with, and, contact them as well. Say you'd love to work with them. You've heard good things about them and you want to, be able to audition for them, and they may say no, they may not connect with you, but by doing it, you're putting yourself out there and you're hoping that it'll pay off. So it's really a numbers game at that point. Now, the value of posting up who you work with trumps any fear that person will be lured away by another voiceover artist. You want to be proud of the work that you do, and other voiceover artists can definitely go and try and talk to the same clients and see if they can work with them too. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a million jobs out there, and if someone's better and they take away your job, go after their jobs too. It's go after their clients too. There's nothing wrong or right. It's the wild, wild west out there. We're not connected. We're not contracted to a single person. We're just going for non-union jobs. So don't feel bad about posting your successes, and don't feel scared about that. Don't be scared about contacting. There's plenty of voiceover actors that say, hey, I'm represented by this person. You should contact them if you want to see if they can work with you too. There's nothing wrong with sharing information. Another good thing that happens is that you get to connect with older clients. This is a great way to get work. The first thing you should do before you even start marketing to new clients is, why not remarket to the old clients? Go ahead and contact them. Tell them that you just worked on this. Just a straight connection and saying it was a pleasure working with you. It's huge. It's better than any other voiceover person does. And by you making that extra effort and doing that consistently, it will pay off in dividends with more and more work. I guarantee it. I guarantee if you put in enough work in it. Now, don't go. Now, this could be kind of a rabbit hole thing, so don't go crazy one day and then just drop it the next day. It'll be worth doing it 10 minutes a day, just as long as you're consistently on LinkedIn and figuring it out and just doing and liking posts and connecting with old clients. It's a great way to keep older clients with you. And why not give them every option to hire you again? The other thing that's great with LinkedIn is referrals. Every client you have who you are connected with is in a company, and that company is usually might have other companies, so you can always connect to their companies. And if someone leaves a company, your friend leaves a company, the person you worked with at one company leaves to another company, why not connect them and say, hey, I'd love to audition for the new company? And there's people, and everything just keeps coming back as long as you always put out there how proud you are of the stuff you're working with and how cool it is that other people are working with stuff. The karma circle just keeps going round and round, and it'll pay off in dividends. LinkedIn is an often overlooked wealth of information to get some new clients. I personally had a client find me through LinkedIn who I've never met. He just saw the stuff that I was posting and said, I'd love to hire you. And I was like, yes. And it was a great job. And I worked on a couple of jobs for him, and I thought it was great. And that just by looking at that inspired me to be like, oh, I should probably try and connect with him again. And I probably will over the next couple of days and see how is he doing. And the great thing about LinkedIn is that it's free. It costs me nothing, only a little bit of time. And there's nothing wrong with bragging about the work that you do. There's nothing wrong with liking other people's work. There's nothing wrong with being being inspired to connect with new clients. I know I did a podcast talking about marketing or not marketing, and this is a type of marketing. This is very different than the marketing of a campaign of sending out, I'm not saying send out LinkedIn ads or sending out sponsored ads. I'm talking about just connecting with people that you want to connect with. So if you had any preconceived notions about LinkedIn, I say swallow your pride and link in. All right. The Everything Voiceover podcast is brought to you by the Voice Realm, where only professional voice actors are listed. I'm Justin Torres. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been the Everything Voiceover podcast. Feel free to go to everythingvoiceover.com. Check out articles, videos, follow us on Everything V. Thank you guys so much for listening. Yeah, have a great night.